My name is Sarah, and I'm about to turn 20. Right now, I'm buried in finals week at college, where I'm studying finance. It's a challenging major, but I've always had a knack for numbers. As I sit here in my dorm room, surrounded by textbooks and empty coffee cups, I can't help but think about my upcoming birthday. My family plans to celebrate it once I finish my exams. Family celebrations always leave a bitter taste in my mouth. Growing up, I felt like the black sheep. My older sister, Emma, is 25 now, and she's always been the golden child, the one my parents dote on. I was just there an afterthought. Remember when I was 8 years old, it was Emma's 13th birthday, and my parents threw her this enormous party. There was a bouncy castle, a magician, and a cake bigger than me. I was so excited, thinking my birthday would be just as grand. But when my birthday came a few months later, all I got was a small grocery store cake and a pair of socks. I tried not to cry, but I couldn't help it. My mom just patted my head and said, "Don't be dramatic, Sarah. It's just a birthday." That was when I first realized I was different, less important somehow. As I grew older, the feeling only intensified. Emma got the newest phone every year while I inherited her old ones. She got designer clothes, I got hand-me-downs. When she graduated high school, my parents bought her a car. When I graduated, they gave me a gift card to the local bookstore. My grandmother, though, was different. She always treated me like I was special. When I told her I wanted to study finance, she was thrilled. "You've got a good head on your shoulders, Sarah," she said. "You'll go far." She even insisted on arranging my birthday celebration and gave my parents several $1,000s to make it happen. Was shocked when I heard about it. My parents usually brushed off my birthdays, but they didn't argue with Grandma. They just took the money and told me to focus on my exams. I overheard Emma throwing a fit about it. "Why does she get a big party?" she whined. "I could use that money for a trip I've been wanting to take." Grandma shut her down quickly. "Hush now, Emma. Everyone spoils you as it is. Didn't I just give you 10 grand for rent? And you're still living at home?" Emma went quiet after that. I couldn't help but feel a little smug. So here I am, cramming for my last exam. It's tomorrow, and then I'm free to celebrate my birthday and feel special for once. The next day, I walked out of my last exam feeling like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. My classmates chattered excitedly about their summer plans, but all I could think about was my upcoming birthday celebration. As I made my way back to my dorm, my phone buzzed with messages. My college friends wished me an early happy birthday, knowing I'd be heading home soon. It felt good to be remembered, even if it was just by people I'd known for a couple of years. "Happy almost birthday," my roommate Jess called out as I entered our shared space. "Are you ready for the big family shindig?" I nodded, trying to muster up some enthusiasm. "Yeah, it should be interesting." Jess raised an eyebrow. "You don't sound too excited." "Everything okay?" I sighed, flopping onto my bed. "It's just my family. They're not exactly the warm and fuzzy type, especially when it comes to me." "But your grandma organized this whole thing, right?" "That's got to count for something," Jess pointed out. "True," I admitted. "Grandma's always been different. She actually seems to like me." As I packed my backpack for the trip home, I couldn't shake off a nagging feeling in the pit of my stomach, a mix of hope and dread. Hope that for once my birthday would be special, and dread that somehow it would all go wrong. The bus ride home felt longer than usual. My mind kept wandering to what awaited me. Would the house be decorated? Would there be a cake? Would my parents actually look happy to see me? As I walked up the driveway, I took a deep breath. The house looked normal. No balloons, no streamers, nothing to indicate a celebration was about to happen. But maybe they were keeping it all inside, I thought, trying to stay positive. I opened the front door, calling out, "Mom, Dad, I'm home." The house was quiet, too quiet for a place that was supposed to be prepping for a party. I frowned, dropping my backpack by the door and making my way to the living room. My parents were there, sitting on the couch, looking oddly uncomfortable. There was no sign of any party preparations. Hi," I said, confusion creeping into my voice. "Where's all the, birthday stuff?" My mom exchanged a glance that made my heart sink. "About that, Sarah," my dad started, his voice oddly detached. "We decided not to organize your birthday party." I blinked, sure I had misheard. "What? But Grandma gave you money for it." My mom cut in. We gave the money to Emma for her trip. She and her boyfriend flew to Hawaii a couple of days ago. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. I felt my eyes start to sting with tears. You what? But it was for my birthday. Grandma gave it to you for my birthday. My dad shrugged, not meeting my eyes. Emma needed a vacation. You understand, don't you? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Understand? No, I don't understand. It was supposed to be my birthday party. I invited people. What am I supposed to tell them? We've already taken care of that, my mom said, her tone dismissive. We called everyone and told them you were having problems with college and that the party was canceled. I stood there, shock giving way to anger. You lied to them about me? How could you do this? My dad's face hardened. That's enough, Sarah. You need to learn to obey us and stop being so selfish. Selfish? I almost screamed. How am I being selfish? It was my birthday. Just then, the front door opened. I turned, hoping it was Emma back early and feeling guilty. Instead, I saw my grandmother step inside, her eyes narrowing as she took in the scene. What's going on here? She asked, her voice sharp. Where's the party? Looked at my parents, waiting to see how they'd explain this away. They hesitated, fumbling for words. In that moment, something in me snapped. There is no party, Grandma, I said, my voice shaking. They gave the money to Emma for a trip to Hawaii instead. The look on my grandmother's face was one I'd never seen before, a mix of fury and disappointment all directed at my parents. Is this true? She demanded. My parents couldn't see her gaze. Their silence was all the confirmation she needed. Grandma turned to me, her expression softening. Sarah dear, go pack your things. You're coming with me. I didn't need to be told twice. As I rushed to throw some clothes into my backpack, I could hear my grandmother's voice, low and angry, talking to my parents. I couldn't make out the words, but the tone was clear. When I came back downstairs, Grandma was waiting by the door. Without a word to my parents, we left the house and got into her car. As we drove away, I finally let the tears fall. 20 years of feeling unloved and unwanted came pouring out. Grandma reached over and patted my hand. Don't you worry, dear, she said, her voice gentle but firm. We'll sort this out. You deserve better than this, and it's high time someone showed you that. Grandma drove us to her house, a beautiful 2-story home on the outskirts of town. As we pulled into the driveway, she turned to me with a determined look in her eyes. This might not be the party you were expecting, Sarah, but we're going to celebrate your birthday properly. Once inside, Grandma immediately got on her phone. I watched in amazement as she ordered what sounded like enough food to feed an army, all for rush delivery. I hope you're hungry, she said with a wink as she hung up. We've got quite a feast coming our way. As we waited for the food to arrive, Grandma bustled around the kitchen, pulling out her best china and silverware. I offered to help, but she shooed me away. Just relax. This is your day. It felt strange being treated like I was worth something. I sat in the living room, surrounded by the warmth and coziness of Grandma's home, and started to realize that maybe, just maybe, I was worth celebrating. Grandma even managed to convince some of my friends to come over, turning what could have been a sad birthday into a lively gathering filled with laughter and joy. As the evening wore on, I was surrounded by people who genuinely cared about me. The food was fantastic, and Grandma's house was filled with the sounds of cheerful conversations and clinking glasses. I couldn't believe how different this was from the empty feeling I'd grown used to. At that moment, I realized that my worth wasn't determined by how my parents treated me, but by how much love I had in my life and the people who chose to be there for me. By the end of the night, as I blew out the candles on my birthday cake, one of the most beautiful cakes I'd ever seen, I felt a sense of peace. I had always longed for my parents to show me love and appreciation, but instead, I had found it in the most unexpected places. Grandma's support and my friends' presence reminded me that I was not defined by my family's neglect, but by the relationships I nurtured and the love I gave and received. The next day, Grandma took me shopping for a few things I needed for college. It was a simple gesture, but it meant so much more than the extravagant gifts Emma always received. As we walked through the stores, I felt a growing sense of confidence and self-worth. My parents might have failed me, but I was learning to rely on myself and the people who truly cared about me. I knew I had a long way to go to fully reconcile my feelings with my family, but for now, I was content with the knowledge that I was deserving of love and respect. And as for my birthday celebration, it wasn't what I had originally envisioned, but it turned out to be the best birthday I'd ever had. It was a day filled with genuine affection and unforgettable moments, reminding me that sometimes the most important celebrations are the ones that come from the heart, not from the expectations of others. In the end, I learned that while I can't control how my parents treat me, I can control how I allow others to treat me and how I treat myself. I learned to value the love and support that came my way, and more importantly, to give myself the same love and respect. Sometimes, it takes a moment of unexpected change to remind us of our own worth and the people who truly matter in our lives.